Sorry, I'm just recuperating and restoring. More ways than one. I've been going through a lot of stuff lately. Shoo. It's like all consciousness on earth has just exploded in my mind. I had an idea to think about things like shame and guilt. Shame and guilt are good. They help us, guide us in the right direction. But if you let it get too much into your head, it's going to get the better of you and make you associate yourself with stuff that's got nothing to do with you ultimately. And so it's just a little bit difficult to talk right now. Basically, what it is that I'm ultimately saying is that we've been through a whole lot of stuff within our life, and that it's probably a really good idea to accept ourselves as we are. And no matter how strange or crazy life gets, or how strange or crazy our thoughts get, we just need to understand that thoughts are ultimately transient, and they come and they go and they pass. And ultimately, what a man thinketh he shall become. So it's a very good idea to place a lot of priority upon who it is you ultimately want to become as a person, and what it is that you wish to actually be able to experience into your future. So you have to be able to design this character of yourself that you really, really love and appreciate as much as possible. A character that you can feel proud of, someone you can feel proud of, someone you can ultimately look up to. And so reality is very interesting. Thoughts are very interesting. We have thoughts in all sorts of ways. But we live in a pool of thoughts in this world, and I think it's best to stay in your own bubble of thought and do everything you can to ultimately design your own self, really. Design who you want to be. Someone you can be proud of, and ultimately believe in that with all your heart. Believe in that with all your heart. Reality is quite strange, I'm going to be very honest with you. There's a whole lot of thoughts and reasonings for what it is we happen to experience and what it is we happen to go through. And pain, trauma, and stress can leave us feeling with a very exhausted sense of self, where we end up looking at ourselves in ways that are more deplorable than we need to. I think we're all ultimately dealing with things the best way we can. And so we need to be patient and gentle with ourselves to be able to get through what it is we need to as best as we can. People would like to have you believe things about yourself at certain times, but it's best for you to be able to go into your heart and be able to explore and feel what is ultimately true within your own heart. In order for you to know who it is that you actually are, in order for you to know what it is that you will do and what it is that you won't do. And it's very important to do that and to design that and to develop a strong sense of character and self that you can rely upon and trust upon as much as possible. No matter how strange reality gets, it's quite important for us to be able to see the bright light all around us. It's doing its best to just illuminate us, through peace, love, faith. And I suppose supplication, which is ultimately reverence of believing in God, the Holy Spirit, or reality, the Great Spirit that moves throughout all of us. I think in some way or another we all happen to share thoughts subconsciously. So the thoughts that take place in the world and in ourselves are very important. So we need to learn how to navigate and manage those thoughts as best as we can. Because we're ultimately living in a pool of thoughts, and we're responsible for, which pool of thoughts we ultimately entertain. Reality gets strange, gets crazy. But things get better. I don't exactly know how, but I know they do get better. I just think reality is quite strange. I feel like I have this human mind and I'm just learning how to use it. Through imagination, faith. That's how I feel. You've got to have a strong focus in order to guide your imagination accordingly. And you actually have to design your imagination and write it down. What you believe in and what you don't believe in. But reality is also quite strange. I've heard many strange stories along my life. But I think we're living in a pool of consciousness, to be honest with you. This pool of consciousness is manifesting itself in so many ways. Throughout many different and unique humans. And so, we make mistakes as humans, and I suppose it's only normal and natural for us to make mistakes. Because we're ultimately all doing the best we can. Some make more mistakes than others. I spend a lot of time dreading the idea of making mistakes, actually. I don't want to make mistakes. I want to do the right thing. But the right thing right now is just figuring out how to focus my thought and focus my imagination to help ultimately heal my mind and become someone who I can actually be proud of and realize that I can be part of that person no matter what. But I feel like I try my best to meditate, to keep a clear mind. It's so harder to meditate these days with all these noises and sounds around. To be very honest. I spend a lot of time focusing on God, and when I do, I feel pretty good. And I just want to say, sometimes thoughts come into your head, they've got nothing to do with you. And as I said, I've been struggling with my thoughts. I feel like sometimes they're getting the best of me. So I'm doing my best to focus on what I want to focus on. I should probably just focus on what I have right here in front of me, which is my life as it is. Sometimes my imagination gets the best of me. The number one thing I've had to learn is just to master this fear, man, no matter what. It's in love. It's in a lot of love. My mind wanders in all sorts of places. I sometimes wonder where these thoughts come from. feel like I'm living in a sort of dream reality. I had this amazing dream yesterday where I was falling. I was falling in slow motion. So amazing to actually have dreams like that, to experience your consciousness in new ways. And in those moments, in those dreams, it's just like there's not a single thought at all. So that's what I'm striving towards. Just being completely and totally present in the moment as it stands now. And those magical, mystical moments in dreams where you're doing all sorts of amazing stuff. It's like you're not thinking at all. So I don't know, maybe the whole point of this is to like master our thought. To learn how to like not think and just be here now. So that's what I'm doing. Focusing on being here now. It's a difficult journey, especially with all that's happened to me. My brain exploding and all that. Consciousness is weird. It's divine and interesting and beautiful, but it's pretty weird. Just doing my best to try and master it, by all means necessary. Just try to think about the best of other people and the best of myself. Just try to calm myself down as much as possible. Stay calm. I've been experiencing some really awesome feelings of just like purity. Just find as much purity within inside of myself. Had some amazing dreams sometimes that actually showed me a beautiful, never-ending feeling of just like thoughtlessness and bodilessness and purity. It's a lot of confusion, a lot of chaos, but the best we can do is stay calm, be in our own bubble, and share that joy and love with others as best as we can. I often wonder about reality. A lot of strange things happen. Starting to think that many people might not have the answer, because everyone's trying to figure it out in one way or another. And I think it's quite admirable if people do that. But my thoughts feel like they're getting the better of me. My mind races and races and races, but somehow, even though it's racing, I find moments of peace though. I don't really understand it all. I'm trying to understand it. I feel like my consciousness is in far too many places at once, experiencing all sorts of things. And I enjoy dreaming, even if it's a nightmare sometimes. It's always quite interesting to see how much reality we can experience in our own mind. It feels a lot easier being in a dream than being in this waking reality state. And I wonder, is this reality a dream? So I do my best to guide my thoughts as much as possible. Sometimes we feel guilty for what we like. For instance, I love women. I feel guilty about it sometimes. I'm just trying to stay calm, calm my farm, calm these chickens down. Just stay calm as possible. I want to be someone I can be proud of, man. Sometimes these thoughts get the best of me. It's like thoughts coming out of nowhere. Negative Nancy mind in your own head. Feel confusing. Try to meditate, but his voices get louder sometimes. Not all the time though, sometimes it's quite a peaceful meditation. What a peaceful sleep. Sometimes I have nightmares. Maybe my subconscious mind just playing out certain fears of mine that I've built up in my own head. Currently 31, about to turn 32, and there's a lot of stuff happening in my mind. The idea of becoming an adult, what that means to me. I really want to be an adult. I wish I could just be a kid. Just go have fun, like Sonic the Hedgehog. Just run around and stuff. Fall in slow motion. Practice magic and all sorts of strange and weird and wonderful stuff. I'm just expressing my thoughts in my mind. This reality matrix seems to do some strange things. It seems to reflect and mirror our own consciousness to some level or another. So, yeah, I'm just going through the motion of the ocean. Trying to stay calm as possible. Cycling through fear and faith. Pain, mental pain and anguish, and then pleasure, which is a weird word to use. But I think pleasure is just feeling good, you know? Just being at peace is pleasure. I suppose that's the word I wanted to use. I feel like this reality is quite multidimensional. Maybe all life was created through a multidimensional orgasm. Because all it keeps seeming to do is just keep breeding more life. Lots and lots of life. Which happens through an orgasm, strangely enough. I don't want to have children. I think there's enough children in the world, to be honest. I just want to feel calm, feel happy. It's quite strange hearing the conversations that take place sometimes. It's weird, you know. I don't think reality was ever this strange. It is always quite strange, but I suppose the more you focus on how strange it is, the more strange it becomes. I like the idea of having a spirit because it kind of means we'll never die. I'm happy about that. It gives me a lot of joy. Believing in eternity. I suppose we are all eternal. But where we go after death, I suppose that's up to us. Maybe on how we judge ourselves, based on how much shame and guilt we feel. In my position, feeling all these feelings, you kind of have to just sort your mind. Stick true to who you are, who you want to become. Who you dreamed of becoming and who you meant to become today. Or tomorrow. I'd like to feel never-ending joy and ecstasy one day. Who wouldn't? I think because we're able to do that, we're able to live life in the best way possible. It says something in the Bible that when we're in grace, we're not under the law. I don't know exactly what that means, but it reminds me of a dream I once had where I felt like I was a kid leaning over a balustrade, just looking at how beautiful reality was, space in between space. I focus on that as much as possible, and it seems to sort of, I don't want to say bleed into this reality. I don't like the idea of blood anymore. used to think I was quite a violent character, but the idea of blood does not really please me at all. But it seeps into this reality, you know, it shines into this reality. The more we're able to lift up our consciousness, no matter what it is we may feel or go through, to focus on some heavenly state that may have been revealed to us in dreams at certain times in our life, which are gifts and blessings from God, I believe, to show us how far reality can go if we just simply dare to believe. And that's what I'm daring to believe. Trying to control my thoughts as much as possible, but I don't know where the fuck these thoughts are coming from. It's fucking annoying. They're not my thoughts, I know what my thoughts sound like. But you must be careful, people can influence you, you know? But I suppose it takes a strong spirit and a strong mind in order to not be influenced by people. So you just got to keep finding strength within yourself, you know? As much strength as possible. So that's what I do. Focus on as much strength as possible. Foreshadowing of a feather. Maybe reality does that, just sort of like mirrors to us ourselves in many ways. My greatest fear is being a bad person. I don't want to be a fucking bad person, dude. I was raised right, you know? I want to make my parents proud. Make God proud. I've been quite a rambunctious character many times in my life. Kind of wish I lived in my dreams, you know. Kind of feel like I do. I wish I could do more of that fanciful stuff that I do in my dreams. Although it seems to be taking place. I want to imagine the world full of people who just do the right fucking thing, dude, and you know, have dignity and respect for themselves, you know. You know this. That's what I hope for. I hope for that as much as possible. So I keep just staying calm and focused, you know. I don't want to hurt people, I don't want to hurt myself, I don't want to hurt other people. I want people to grow up with the same sort of life I had, you know. Purity. at times I was a character that I wasn't really necessarily proud of. I think I turned out okay for the most part, besides some of the craziness I entertained in my mind. But I don't want to feel that shame and guilt anymore. Never let your thoughts or the thoughts of others hold you hostage to try and mold you into the picture in which it is that they wish to see you in. You have to stay strong in that image that you hold within your heart. Oh, I'm so tired of coming up with all these theories of reality, man. I'm just trying to be here now, dude. That's what I want to do. Just be here now. As much as possible. So these voices tell me the most ridiculous shit. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'll tell you the truth. They tell me the most ridiculous shit I've ever heard in my life that I really wish I never had to hear ever. So I'm just doing my best to stay calm, you know. Calm my farm of little screeching, scrolling animals inside my fucking mind, man. This reality is quite crazy. What a crazy life I've lived. Not that crazy, but all the realizations have been quite perplexing. And I feel like making a video like this helps me calm down. Calm down a lot. Anyway, I'm gonna leave this video here. I need to spend more time to think about what I want to say. A little nervous, to be honest, but I'll get there. Thanks, guys. Hope you're keeping well and hope you're staying positive.